Hello, and thank you guys so much for joining me for yet another video. Unlike the last video where I was flying the P-38, I was planning on flying in a game called DCS and showing off some of the modern aircraft that I fly for my sims. But today is December 7th, so that means I am going to be recreating the actions of Lieutenants Welsh and... I'm going to have to look it up. Welsh and Taylor. Very few pilots were able to get airborne during Pearl Harbor, but Welsh and Taylor were able to do so, and they shot down 6 Japanese planes between them. So I've used an automatic mission generator to generate a mission in which I'm going to have to intercept enemy ships, enemy planes, who are coming to bomb friendly ships. Again, there are no Pacific assets in this game yet, so I'm actually having German assets stand in. Unfortunately, the automatic mission generator doesn't put our ships in the harbor, but it puts them in a river. But the principles are the same. I've got 2 P-40s. We're going to be going up against upwards of 20 to 30 enemy aircraft, and we're going to see how well we can do. Here we go. Okay, we're going to accelerate slowly. I'm actually not terribly used to taking off in the P-40. It's an older plane than the 38, but the P-40 was basically what we had in the Pacific. P-40s and P-39s until we could get the 38 into mass production. So I'm going to do the best that I can to try and intercept the enemy aircraft. And that is not going to be easy. There's a book that I love that my father owned called The Last Dogfight. It takes place in the Pacific. And the book's about P-38s, but they start out with good old P-40s. And in the book there's a song that they sing. It goes something like, "Don't give me a P-40. She's a heck of an airplane, you know. She'll cough and she'll wheeze and head straight for the trees. Don't give me a P-40. And I'll tell you what, flying in this game, it sure makes me nostalgic for that book because the P-40 is one of the toughest planes to fly. I'm going to do my best and see if we can't intercept these enemy aircraft before they hit our ships. Now, looking at the flight plan, they want us heading to the northeast. I'm going to go ahead and correct my heading. If you're looking, compared to the 38, when I took off, I was over these mountains super easy. But now we're kind of, well, coughing and wheezing, and we're going to make it over the trees, but probably just barely. So as before, I'll go ahead and start fast forwarding now until we get to some of the good action. Wish us luck. Alright, I'm interrupting our travel time a little bit because I can see some of the enemy formations. I don't know if you guys can. You should be able to see some black dots out there. And just like Welsh and Taylor, the odds are stacked well against me. We've got 2 P-40s and then maybe a couple other planes against an entire attacking force. And you can see that some of the enemy fighter cover has already spread out a bit. Looks like the enemy might have already attacked our ship, so it's actually a fairly good test that we've got going on here. And just seeing the amount of planes in the air, recognizing that they're all enemies is nerve-wracking to say the least. But we're going to do what we can to take down as many of these as possible. Alright, and you'll notice that I have icons on this time. I want to make it easier for both you and me to see what's going on, and well, we've got 190 standing in for zeros. And 110 standing in for the bombers. And boy howdy, let me tell you, this is already a little intimidating. But just like the other pilots, we're going to do the best that we can. Right now, I'm just desperately trying to climb up and get energy. Got the enemy bombers right ahead of me. And that 190 might not have seen me yet. So we're going to see what we can do. But with these icons on, you can really see what a terrifying situation it must have been for those guys. Oh, here we go. He's on me. He's trying to turn in on my 6. And now I'm pushing my engine probably harder than I really have any right to. Try and get in behind this guy. And the P-40's only got 6 machine guns. I don't have that beautiful cannon that the 38 does. So taking these guys down is not going to be easy. There's my wingman down there, or at least one of them. Looks like he's going away from me to get back to his friends. So I'm going to cut my engine. If they don't think I'm worth dealing with, then you know, I'm not going to argue. I'm just going to try and get as much energy as I can and hit them as quickly as possible. In fact, it looks like those bombers... Oh boy, they're starting to split off. This isn't good. Times like this, you just gotta make a decision and stick to it. So I'm actually gonna turn in on the bombers. Try to keep an eye on the rest of these guys. Some of them may have spotted me, but again, I'm trying to rely on there being so many planes in the sky that they don't notice me. Looks like they're going after the combat air patrol craft, which is lining me up to take out tail end Charlie here. Now this is a really bad approach for a bomber, because that tail gunner can just absolutely destroy me, but it's not like I have much of a choice. Yeah, now I have to break off. I'll tell you what though, P-40 can really take some punishment. Now I'm gonna try and do some energy fighting. Ah! And there I go. Definitely not the equal of those guys who were able to somehow take off and shoot down 6 enemy planes over 2 sorties and make it back home. Oh, there I go. Alright, and I didn't get anything. I got a lot of hits, but I didn't actually take anything down. So I was hoping this would be more of an uplifting video, but hopefully that helps illustrate just how incredibly brave those pilots who flew during Pearl Harbor, not just the 2 who got these kills, but the few dozen pilots that were able to be airborne during that engagement, and just in general during the war. It's just such a intense thing. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you look forward to more later.